We're glad to have you on this Monday. And you know we never fall short on Mondays. Shout out to 730. I see you, Codetta. Shout out to MJMG Presents. I want to send a big love and light to the whole MJMG Presents family. Everybody here on SHU Radio and beyond is with y'all. Just wanted to put that out there. Today we got a brother. You know these shows, every episode we have great conversation. Everybody says they love the way we tackle and go about things, but this one hits a little home for me. And I'm not going to go into too much details of why it goes home because we're going to get right into it. But before we do all that, we just want to make sure everything is working and everything is running cool. So I got to make sure all the wheels is oiled. But I do want to send a big shout out to everybody in the Philippines that be tapping in. Please keep them emails coming in. I know you're not on the live, but your viewership is most definitely honored. And the question. So if you got a question and you want to shoot it over and you're on the app, if you're on Google TV or Apple TV, you can send it to SHU at Spud Brooklyn, SPUDbrooklyn.com. That's SHU at SPUDbrooklyn.com. If you got any questions, you can shoot those over on the app. If you're on the live, please feel free to put that in the chat. But before we get into that, we're going to just go into some visuals. What better way? I got my brother on, so I'm gonna play something of mine today. Normally I be playing something of somebody else's. Today I'm playing something of mine, and this song right here is called Unsigned, and we're gonna be right back with the brother and furthermore. So check this out. This is Unsigned. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Jump on.
Boss, you're only the boss if you put up your own money. You don't put up your own money. I don't care how much somebody gives you. You're nothing but a supervisor. It's not yours.
I'm cashing royalty checks and I ain't signed though. Hit a few radio sets without a high note, but this what I know. Turn 4 to 9 more. From Denimora to Rolex, my time rolled. They said my grind was old. I came home at 28, broke. My mind was on to find a job. Nope, so my job was find my own. And what my PO ain't know. Every night I'm off. That's what I counted on. I said music could pay my bills. They laughed at me. And when I bring it back up, they wanna laugh with me. Like I'm laughing with them. In the past, I would've put a flash up on them. Go write some raps up on them. Let's keep it real. You frontin' for the rails. I'ma post up. You just gonna post all in your feels. For them likes, you gon' pen whatever's right. Like your story. 24 hours out of my sight. I'm unsigned. We taking flicks in the offices. Sitting in the meeting while recording it. Posted by the logo, then we posting it. And they call us right back, we do it all again. Let's get this straight, you ain't signing a 360, but brag about your stream, Spotify doing you filthy. And you posted it, not knowing what's supposed to get. And expect labels, come and try to offer shit. I'm in them offices, I know what they offering. What you don't often get, I know how to re-offer it. I made deals, turning down deals for artists. And some artist deals I got a portion in. I know the fine print and how a nine spit. I'm industry in the streets, Bud's a hybrid. I did my time in. Now my business got billionaires chimed in. They had the game in a chokehold, I Heimlicked. I cleared the way, dog, and I ain't gotta rhyme it. I maneuvered the timing. I made what you recouping. I engineered and looped it. Mixed down, off the grid, produced it. I'm unsigned. We taking flicks in the offices. Sitting in the meeting while recording it. Posted by the logo, then we posting it. And they call us right back. We do it all again.
Alright, y'all, that was Unsigned. I just had to set the tone. If y'all know me, time is money, and I don't like spending either unwisely. I got a brother today. Y'all might have seen him on the, Finest Summit. He's always dropping the jewels, adding his true-to-life essence to a gem. I know him as Tom Black. He goes by Thomie Is'real. Is'real. And the brother got more hats. We talking cars, cardboard, conversations, and communication. This man does it all, from catering. And y'all might think I'm working this up. Y'all might be feeling like I'm working this up and I'm adding more to it, but I'm not. But one thing, and I don't think I ever got to tell the brother this. One thing that really, I admire is how he supersedes down. how he supersedes the low. I watched the brother come up a lot of times. Before I even, y'all could probably tell I'm excited. I got super love for this brother. Me and this brother got a long time journey. And we're going to hit a little bit about that. But one thing I can always say about this brother is he never let the lows be his highs. His high is every aim he shoots for. And without even more of me talking, we're just going to bring the brother on right now. We're going to welcome the brother Thomie Is'real to the set. Yo, my brother.
What's good, Spud? What's good? How you feeling? How the feeling?
I'm good, man. Thank you for coming on the set today, man.
Oh, man. Coming to work with you is inspiration because you are true inspiration. You the motivation behind the motivation. So when we see you doing your thing, and anything you doing, you know we running to come help out because everything you do is positive. So we appreciate the opportunity to get the blessings to come work with you because there's blessings behind working with you for real.
Thank you, my brother. Mm-hmm. Now, for those that might not know, you've had and you have your hands in so many stuff. My first question I want to pose to you, where your drive come from, bro?
I think, sometimes I pull from certain situations, like from youth, like going through tough times with youth, like growing up in the 70s and mom going through hard times and we living in tough times and me having to go do activities at a young age. So we're not talking about no criminal activity. We talking about selling newspapers or we talking about washing car windows on the side of the highway when it's freezing. I get to and that's the youth part. As you get older, you go through more situations. And what I do is I pull from them situations. So if I'm going through something, I can dig back in those situations and say, well, it wasn't bad as them situations. And that's where the drive keep getting refueled at. And that's where you can keep driving because you keep refueling. And you can look back on your past experiences, the fuel. So I'm getting high octane because I'm situations. I'll give you a perfect example. And we'll touch on these things. Like sometimes you might be incarcerated and you only getting 36 cents. You getting $18 and that's a good pay after a hard work week. You might get $42. That's the highest pay they giving.
Yeah.
So if I'm going through something and I'm like, wow, at least at the end of the week, I ain't getting $42. You know what I'm saying? It's about that. It gives the mental some good energy to get you through certain situations. And I think that's where the drive comes from, Spud. Through life, you get to go through hardship, but if you can turn those hardships later into something special, and I think that's what hardships is about, you know what I'm saying? Being able to go back on those and pull some strength from them.
You hit it on the point on that. Now, for those who might not know, where you rooted, my brother? Where you rooted? Where you from? Give them a little bio before we get into this conversation.
I'm rooted in Harlem. Like I'm a Harlem guy from the heart, right? Born in the Bronx, but born in Harlem Hospital. So we lived in the Bronx, but I was born in Harlem Hospital.
Okay.
Wound up moving to Harlem, and back in the Polo Ground was this projects, man. I called it Colonial. The Colonial was behind the Polo Ground, so it was like the smaller version.
Okay.
We was like the little cousins to the Polo Ground because they had all the rep, they had all the tough guys. And my project behind it, the Colonials, we had all the nice people. This was a project that wasn't a project because it seemed like a lot of prominent people came out of that project. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rooted in Harlem, that east side, west side, I'm near, but I got a lot of Bronx in my soul too. Because I want them, migrating. It's so close, like Brooklyn and Queens.
Yeah.
How y'all be close, like that Bronx and Harlem is closer. Sometimes, we want to move into the Bronx or having a spot in the Bronx. But I'm rooted in Harlem. I get my bones in Harlem for sure. But I got some Bronx in me. I can turn it up on you quickly also, So
now,
that's where I'm at. I'm a Harlem dude.
Now, how influential was growing up between the two, like the Bronx and Harlem, into who make and how and what makes you today?
I think, and I reflect on this. I think the world has gotten smaller through the internet. Because I remember a time where you could tell a dude was from Brooklyn by the way he dressed.
Yeah.
You could tell a dude was from Harlem by the way his style was, and in the Bronx, it kind of like got smaller now. You can't really tell now. If you look at a dude, you can't really tell where he's from. Before, you can actually tell. I think living in those places had different type of cultural styles.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
agree.
and it was a blessing to me to be able to be from Harlem, but be able to go to the Bronx on the weekends and then once a month go to Brooklyn. When you get to be able to be a little special because you get to go pull things. You be in Harlem, but if you go to the Bronx, you'll come back wearing your hat a certain way, or when your cousin gave you a different pair of sneakers, or taught you a new slang. You know what I'm saying? You will be able to come back, and I will be able to pull these things together. I would go to Brownsville to hang with my cousins once a month and be with them on special occasions. I come back with some Brooklyn style, and I put it all in a pot. And that gave me a little edge. That gave me a little edge. Like I think in the late 80s and early 90s. So we talking about like 91-ish.
Okay.
91-ish. Being able to come back to Harlem after being in Brooklyn, come back to Harlem with the Carl Canal jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like our first black real designer. You know what I'm saying? Being able to come back to Harlem with the Carl Canal. People like, oh, it just like, I think that when you and that's today, when you get to travel the world, you get to come back with different type of cultures. You get to come back with different learning points. And I think as a child, that helped me in my young adolescence. It gave me a little toolbox where I was able to go to different boroughs, be with different special individuals, and put those things in my toolbox and make them work for me. Because everything don't work for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What works for me works for me, but something else might work for somebody else. A tough guy, his thing might work for him, but I'm not a tough guy, right? I try to pride myself on being a smart guy, right? So I only could use certain of his tools, and he only could use a certain of my tools. But it's good to have that toolbox at certain times to be able to go and dig in it. Sometimes you need a wrench, sometimes you need a screwdriver. You know what I'm saying, Spud? And that's why it's beautiful to be able to be around special individuals in different places. And I think that's how it like groove me to be able to also to communicate with different people in different situations, because you've been around them. You know what to say, you know what to not to say. And I think that really helps at certain times of life, because things could happen just like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to be able to communicate.
Did all that communication and making your way throughout the boroughs mold you into the business mind? How did you get into that, or was it something that always existed within you?
I think it always existed as a youth from having to. So once you have to, it starts to ingrain within you. You see what I'm saying? And then you don't know no other way, because you always been this entrepreneur spirit from packing bags. That's an entrepreneur. Getting up, ain't no check coming to you, a little 11, 12-year-old boy going to get to pack the bag early because you want to see Diane or you want to see Michelle. Like, Michelle, can I be your packer today? It's installed in you. And then when you get too big for that, you went into something else. And then you went into something else. Now it's already installed in you. You're not even looking, you're not even considering it entrepreneurship. You're just looking for opportunity. Your brain is like a magnet towards something going on. You're like, oh, that's going on over there. I can jump into this and I can just out hustle them. Or you see what I'm saying? And I think that became ingrained in me. So my brain always started to look for opportunities. Just as a little kid looking at the highways and be like, damn, that'd be a good spot to wash windows because the exit is coming off there and the red light is long. Your brain is picking up on these things. That red light is long. Those cars are going to have to park there. It's going to be a backup of cars right there on 23rd Street, 34th Street. I could be able to get more cars in. Your brain is picking up on these things. And then it just continues to opportunity to opportunity to opportunity.
What was your first business, entrepreneurial business that you set up and started on your own?
I think the first legitimate business was a car service. It was called Urban Horses. Mm-hmm. I was so proud of this company, man. It started from prison. The thought. That's what makes those things so special. And I made a post about when you have these ideas, you got to write them down and then you got to execute on them.
Yeah.
Because those might be special moments in your life that God is sending this to you. The universe or whatever you believe in, it's sending this to you. It's sending this to you. So that thought came in prison because I got in some hot water, right? Hot water. So I told myself, if I get out of this, I don't want to go back to the streets, man.
Yeah.
But I want something, since I was still young, I wanted something that made me feel like I was still in the streets. I want to feel like a hustler. I want to feel like a rapper, a movie star. So I realized, what do they all go get as soon as they get some money? What do you think the first Afro-American, what's the first thing they get when they get some money outside of a chain, when they get a nice couple of dollars?
They get a V.
They go get a V, man. You know what I'm saying? It made them feel special. So I said, how can I be the person to get everybody their V? And it was just a thought, because the Africans was, and it always been around. It was a car service in Harlem since the first rap song. And Sugar Hill Gang, he said, get some money and get a Def OJ. That was like a car service that don't have cabs. It don't let them know you in a cab. You get to sit in the front and just somebody's driving you in this dope car. It look like it's yours or that's a friend. So I put that in my mind. I said, yo, when I get home, I'm gonna start a car service. And I'm gonna be able to drive all the hustlers around. And if I get all, and then at that time, the rappers want to be the drug dealers and the drug dealers want to be rappers. So I thought in my brain, if I get all the hustlers, the rappers are gonna want to do what they do, and I'm gonna be able to get the music industry. And thanks to the universe, thanks to God, thanks to Allah, that's how it exactly played out. My first client who's popping now, wow, how things still, some people are just amazing people. Because men only motivated by two things. No matter how you look at it, the boy you root. Men only motivated by desperation and inspiration. Now, some people are special where they only, like a Jay-Z, a Mace. These guys they get into a situation where they just keep getting inspired to keep doing well. It don't be out of desperation.
Yeah.
Right? That's why Jay,
he
just keeps the climbing because he's inspired out of inspiration. Right? So, but I say at the point that as far as Mace was my first client, as far as not in the hood, my man Bot and Dominican Mike, they was like my first ones that really put my company on their shoulders.
Okay.
Where they said, we're going to give you, $3,500 every 10 days, and we just want you as a driver, or we want special drivers. And we talking about 98, 99, 2000.
That was
was a lot of capital.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they was in a great space financially where they was able to do that. Now with the Mace thing, his guys after this was a back Summer Jam. I got them Summer Jam with Mace kind of headline. That was his great year. Okay. His guys was hearing about the company and they came and got me. I'll tell you a funny story. They didn't pay the bill, man.
No.
They ran up the bill. Loom and God bless Huddy Six. Huddy Six was with them. God bless them. I'm not taking nothing. Just saying nothing. They ran up the bill, bro. They ran up a bill on me, but it was such a blessing. They could have had that 10 hours for free. They took me into Sony Music. They took me to the studio. We went out to eat. It was beautiful. So it was a dream come true for me. After starting this company from a dishwashing job. I had a dishwashing job, saved up all my money for a year, bought one vehicle with the income tax. So I saved up the money because I was only probably getting $7, $8 an hour back then. Saved up every dime, took my income tax check, combined that with the money, bought a used vehicle and started the company, right? So by me driving everybody around, dreaming about getting into the music industry, wow. When they came and got me that day, and they came and did all this stuff with me, and went to Sony and I seen Maxwell, I seen Jermaine Dupri. I'm like, wow, they had just got their deal with All Out. Remember Mace got his All Out deal. It was through Sony. It was through So Definite kind of a way. And then he got, it was Sony was the big umbrella, was the big shot at the time. But the point I'm making, I would have gave them that for free because they allowed that dream to come true. Even they ran out on the bill, but it was like a dream come true. Like, wow, I'm here. You here. I'm here. It's coming true. Yo, them brothers could have had that for free, bro. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That was the first bit. It's called Urban Horses. It turned into something really special, Spud.
And you said you started that. You started that from a dishwashing.
Yes.
I'll be remiss if I didn't touch on and allow you to touch on how you transferred the energy, knowing the bigger goal, man. Because you talk about that mindset while you was washing dishes with the mindset of what you wanted to do with it.
I think Spud. Let's pull back. We going back into hard times. Okay, so because the dream developed in prison. Now I'm facing forever in the day. I'm facing till they put my lights out, right? That's hardship on your brain. And you're dealing with so many, we talking about, I'm in the early 90s. I'm talking about it's banging where it's hard.
Yeah.
I'm with them boys is playing for real. So having to deal with those strategies to keep them off your back and building a team and developing strategies to go at each other and to stay out of the way. You're doing so much.
Yeah.
You're learning so much. You're developing so much, but it's hardship. You go into those, what we call the Bing back then. Remember we called it the Bing?
Yes, sir.
Now they call it the box and SSU. Back then we call it the Bing, and you dealing with that Bing. You in HDM. You going to court shackled. You going through all this hardship. Once I got to do those dishes, I was able to pull back from those situations. Because I was saying, I remember I was washing dishes in Attica. I remember I'm washing dishes in Rikers Island. This is nothing. At least I can go home at the end of the 8 hours, bud.
Yeah.
That kept me going for the whole year. People laughed at me. Because remember, I was in situations before I went to prison where I was this big young honcho driving these beautiful cars. This is before Urban Horses.
Yeah.
But I'm in the street driving nice cars, living in nice places. I'm the man. I could pull up to the block. I'm the guy. Now he's a dishwasher. Now Tom Black is the dishwasher. I dropped a tear one day because I was working and I was heading into work. And I remember seeing these young guys come down this block. They was coming down the block. But you know, I lived on, it was 100th Street, right? And this was out on East Harlem. But 100th Street, and I'm coming from 99th Street. And they coming down that hill. But as soon as you hit that corner, they said, and God sent us, the universe sent us, they said, yo, I seen Tom Black. But it ain't the Tom Black I used to know. It hurt. But I was so ashamed, bro. I was so ashamed. I turned back around because I didn't even want them to see me at that point because I knew they would be embarrassed because he was a young generation that looked up to me.
Yeah.
For whatever reason they was looking up to me for, it could have been, it was negative, but they were still looking up to me. And it seemed like I let them down. Even though I was working for the bigger goal, at the time, it was so painful, Spud. Because they said, I seen Tom Black, but it ain't the Tom Black I used to know. And I knew it was it was in a bad way. Even though I'm working on the goal, it still hurt.
Yeah.
It still hurt. I turned back the other way and I went to work and I washed those dishes, man. And I was like, damn, I gotta get this goal going. Just stay with it, Tom. Just stay with it. You're almost there. You know what I'm saying? And God bless me, man. God bless me, man. God bless me. You know, that and my wife, she was amazing, amazing woman, amazing. She let me take the whole income tax. She let me claim the kids and take the whole 7,000 and change to put with what I had to go start the dream.
Start the dream.
But she could have been like, you know, oh no, you got to give me half. They half our kids. You gonna have to blah. You know how certain people ain't in a blessed situation like we are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she was blessed enough to say, to go, run with the dream. And she never knew me to do, but she was like, run with the dream. And that was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to do.
What was the first V you bought?
Oh, it was a Cherokee. It was like a Pepsi can blue Cherokee with some peanut butter and Cherokee. It was a high interest rate too. I was able to put 14,000 down, and I wound up owing a whole bunch. But I had it.
You had it.
And I was driving the people around. And I remember a dude had a Navigator. He was #1 because that back then you used to get on cab bases. They had like secret cab bases that they wasn't real cabs. They didn't have TLC, but they were secret. And my number was they tried to give me 187. I was like, nah, that's murder.
We don't need that.
And the next one was 197. And that's my thing was another support from this beautiful Zals of mine. I couldn't compete with the other dudes who had the Navigators because Navigators just came out. I remember the dude had the Navigator and I couldn't compete with him. But I knew he was getting so many calls, I would get his leftovers. But I told myself, let me become the one that everybody can count on.
That's right.
I'm not going home. The Zals would make my meals, I would eat, and then she would come down with my blanket and pillow so me could just keep out there, and I would just sleep in the car. So when it go off, one night, it was like, let's say his number was 202. 202, how long for Dave and Dave from 119th Street? How long to go pick up Dave from 119th Street? He'd be like, I'm booked, I'm on hold, I can't do it. I was ready. So as soon as they put that call out, I was already heading towards 119th Street. You know what I'm saying? So when she put that call, anybody for Dave and Dave on 119th Street, 197, I'm 1 minute away. Because I knew they was trying to go on hold. Hold was where the money's at, where they just pay you $35 an hour, $30 an hour, and they just stay with you for a couple hours.
Gotcha.
And just run up there and they smoke, and they go see girls, and they go wherever they go.
Yeah.
So I would be the one people can always rely on. Check it out. So now we get to a point where people just, even though I didn't have the navigator, people would just get to the point where they were just like, how long for 197? You see what I'm saying?
Now they requesting.
How long for Bato at the Dunbar? 197, 197, 197. Tell them, give me 5 minutes, 5 minutes. I'll be there 5 minutes. I became the one that people would count on. In the middle of the night, you get an argument with your baby mother and you got to get out of there. You just call 197 because 197 it's 2 in the morning. He's somewhere. You can count on 197. It might get to the point like 197. How long for Bato? How long for Bato? How long for Bato at the Dunbar? And I'll be like 197. Tell him give me 20. Give me 15 minutes because now the clientele is building up. And I met a girl from Rockefeller one day.
You picked her up
on a blessing. Check out the blessing. How God is good. How the universe works. I'm sitting on 135th and St. Nick. That was like my lay point because it was the middle of Harlem where you could get everywhere at a certain amount of time. Right, bud? So I'm laying there and they get a call out. We got a girl on 100. I'm going to say her address, but we're going to say, let's call it 120th.
Okay.
We got one single female to go into from 120th to 111th Street. How long? Nobody want that call because it's too short. Ain't no money in it. Second time out, we got a girl going from 120th to 111th Street. How long? Ain't nobody picking up the call because there ain't no money. I'm like, I'm trying to get some money. I'm trying to get a hole. Yeah. I'm trying to go on a hole. Give me a little $100 out the gate. The dispatcher said, all y'all suckers out there, nobody want to pick up a single female? Y'all better not say nothing. And I 197, tell her I'll be there in 5 minutes. I wound up picking her up. She worked for Rockefeller. Took her to the hairdresser and we get the chance to conversate. She said, I'm the one, and her name was Erica. I thank you so much, E. She wound up being the baby mother to hip hop, a very influential person in the music industry.
Yes, sir.
He was Jay-Z first A&R. Like hip hop, Kimbo, he's the guy when it comes to that behind the scenes of getting Jay-Z to where he's at today.
Yeah.
He's like behind Tata and behind.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hip hop sense, right?
He was living with her. That was his girl. So she was like, I'm the one who picks up all the cars for Rockefeller. I get their cars. She said, I get Rockefeller cars. She was capping a little bit.
Okay.
But it was okay.
It was okay.
She was like, I can get you a car. I said, word. She said, I can get you something new and dope. She gassing me. But I wound up calling her and linking up with her. She wasn't able to at that time, but she put me with a person that put my name in some kind of hat, some kind of pool back in the days. They don't have it now. But where all of these dealers started coming for me. I wound up getting, a long story short, getting my first navigator from her. Because she plugged me into the person, even though she didn't have the power at the time. She plugged me into this person, and I wound up meeting a African dealer. I was going to get a white one, but I was like, it doesn't fit my profile. Because I'm trying to go more into the black car service type of, the executive type of look. So I need a black one. He had a white one for me. And I was like, damn, I really ain't. But the black dealer called me and said, yo, I got your navigator for you. I said, I seen it already. I was there. It's the white one. He said, nah, come, I got something for you. That ain't my dealership. Come 2 more miles down. Come check me out. He was an Afro-American brother. And he got me my first navigator. Because now I got the Cherokee and I got the navigator. So now when people call me and I'm on hold, I'll be like, yo, just get my man. He good money. So now I got 2. I wound up seeing her 6 months later, maybe 4 months later, and the brand new Escalades had just hit the market. The box ones, the first ones that ever came out.
Yeah.
She pulled up on me. She's like, no, I can really get cars now. Now she's really doing it now. She was like, yo, call me tomorrow. I got you. What you want, anything you want. And for sure enough, she took me to the dealership in Alpine, New Jersey, and she got me a black Escalade. Now I got 3. My brain clicked on something. It said, wait a minute. I was able to just get approved for $60 brand new car, $60-something thousand. I ran down the road to the black car dealership because I didn't want to leave him out and seem like I'm doing a bad move. So I ran him and said, yo, these Escalades are hot. I just got another one. I don't want to be like I'm going behind your back, but they just gave me one. He said, what color you want? You got approved over there? You could get approved over here. Before the bank kind of know
what's going on. Yeah.
So he was like, what color you want? I said, give me black. Because now I can have 2. Now I'm going more into that executive type. Now I got the navigator and I got the Escalade. He didn't give me the next day I came to pick it up. He didn't have the Escalade, but he had a black Navi. So he had the silver one for me in a black Navi. And I got the black Escalade. And I got the Cherokee. Don't forget. So now we moving. And it just and when you having positive energy and you doing right by people, Spud, things start to go right for you.
That's true indeed.
The blessings start to come into place.
True indeed.
You know what I'm saying? That's the God, how the universe works. And I ran into a guy, God bless his dead. His name was Gordon Price. And he really controlled the industry as far as Def Jam and Sony, as far as transportation goes.
Okay.
And he started to plug me in. Because he didn't have the cars. He had that turtle top van. You know what I'm saying? He had the turtle top.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of cars. I had whips. So he would be like, yo, I'm gonna put you with me, and I'll just give, he was probably taking a cut of the money, which I didn't really care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you know how it go. It trickles down.
Yeah. It trickled down. So he was like, yo, I'm gonna put you in. Then that led me into like Fab. That led me into Clue. Because he had Clue. He was Clue's guy. So if he had Clue, then you get Fab. And then I wound up getting into Def Jam. And then I had Tanya Jones that was at Def Jam. She would give me all the Def Jam Rockefeller stuff. And it just became a great ride, man. A great ride.
And that was the birth. That was the full birth. Black Knights.
Yeah. Urban Horses.
Urban Horses,
man. It was a logo. I remember coming up, going back to prison. I used to visit people doing tough times because I had hard times in business. They ain't always sweet.
Yeah, not at all.
Tough times. So what I used to do is go back to prisons to visit people that got life, got 20 years, and just sit with them for a day. And it helps my soul realize what I'm going through, bro, ain't nothing like what they going through.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? So I would just take a day out to go visit people to feel that. And I used to be like, yo, I give somebody $200. They come up with the logo. All y'all in there, baby, like making soaps and y'all making all these things. Come up with a logo and I'm going to pay y'all. And they was giving me all these logos and they wasn't right. And the guy sent me a logo. It was like, nah, they ain't hitting. But I still gave him $100 because I took his logo and then took it it gave my brain to start
something
working.
To work with.
And it was a Range Rover back, but turning into a horse. Back in the days, they used to see that lion. He was half horse, half man.
Yeah.
When we was a kid, that kind of thing that was in the dictionary or wherever we seen in history books. Well, I made the Range Rover like that, like half Range Rover, the body, the back, two wheels, turning into a horse. And they called it Urban Horses. And we took it to a next level with that. But the thing is this part.
Talk to me.
Learning business, got to separate business and personal.
We talk about this a lot on the show. Could you talk a little? Give it to us, brother. Come on.
That's a fine line, brother. Because remember, I started from the core of the streets. So I became the guy that everybody can trust. We talking about the Jimmy Henchmans. We talking about the Haitian Jazz. We talking about these powerful people, the DNYs, the Rough Rider team, these people that has entrenched within the urban America.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I became the guy that people can trust. When people was coming in from Detroit, let's say no names, when they was coming in from Detroit, I would get the call. We need you to take care of such and such. I was that guy. The problem when you become that guy, you with the wrong type of guys.
Yeah.
And then the industry was so entrenched with all of this stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So you dealing with the Irv Gottis and they got the beef with these people. And then you dealing with
these people.
Oh man. So your lines is getting blurred. Things is getting out of control. And when you and when you're not separating that business with pleasure, the business and personal, things get crazy. You got the Little Kim situation going on. Nori's a great client. Great individual. One of the best people I ever dealt with was Nori. His style was so dope.
Okay.
Whereas like letting you not feel like a driver. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it was dope to work with him. But Irv and them got all these contracts coming through. And then you're dealing with Little Kim, and you're dealing with this, and you're dealing with that.
And there's drama in between all this.
Woof. Now, and then if something come for them, it's coming for you because they not caring.
There's no separation. And
no separation.
And you mentioned
wiretaps. You start getting between too cool with people, and people calling you on personal lines, and they saying things they shouldn't say. And before you know it, you wrapped up in someone else's conspiracy, bro. Now you find yourself back in a can, and no one cares about you except your family, bro. All of them rappers you was dealing with and all this stuff that you thought these people had love for you and all these individuals, and I remember the day the FBI came. They was like, they came to the office and they was like, we don't want to embarrass you, but come on down because we got a situation and we gonna need. I said, well, I'm a total legitimate guy. I have nothing to hide because I actually thought I'm totally legitimate. Everything is legitimate, and they would started showing me people. They said, well, we're not going to indict you. However, we cannot tell you what Newark is going to do and what this district is going to do because I was dealing with so many individuals.
Oh man,
you see what I'm saying? They was like, you got a great business, man, but you gotta. Your clientele is too poison, and I didn't. I was trying to listen, but I was too entrenched, and I was just trying to keep myself clean, and it just got out of control. And something happened, and they wound up indicting me and bringing me on in, and got myself all tied up where again I'm facing 20 years. And I'm saying to myself, I'm just a driver.
I'm running business.
I got my TLC, I got my LLC. I'm just a driver, bro. But when there's laws, and sometimes we don't know the laws, and it got ugly as far as that business go. And that's how I lost that $1 million in cars. They took it all, stripped it all, and found myself back in the can. Mm-hmm.
Wow. How was that transformation? Because the idea started when you was locked up, right? You got out, and now you the company flourished. The company got to a place, like you said, you was there. You was there in the midst of it all, and then you sitting back up top. What did that do to your psyche?
Tough, because you got, not only me had to deal with it, now I had a wife and kids who's affected by this now. Them private schools got to go away. The nice home got to go away. All those cars got to go away. Now the wife has to struggle. I thought I was selfish because I knew when things were spiraling out of control. I knew. And I didn't protect my family. So that was the first hardship. Mm-hmm. That was the first hardship on the mental. Then dealing with the loss of the time. Now you're going to be in prison for all of this time. Because I had to take 10 years. I had to take 10 years. Wound up getting it down to 8. But I had to take 8 years because I was guilty, right? I didn't know at the time, but if someone's calling and say, hey, little Kim wants a car for her, little Kim needs a car for her, and she needs 3 for this, saying X, Y, and Z, right?
And then you apply it. That's, accessory to.
And this is coming through all the time because you're the one everybody's trust.
Yeah.
Yo, Tom, some people call me Taha because the Muslims call me Taha. They bringing in people from California. They bringing in, you know what I'm saying? They call it checking in, but they bringing people in and they got to make sure these people are comfortable.
Yeah.
So they be like, yo, Taha, assalamu alaikum. I'm going to need a car for such and such, but I'm going to need a car for such and such and such and such so they can be the such and such. And you agreeing to this. All right, cool. I'm going to send 2 navigators for them. They're going to be at that hotel. And then I'm going to send an Escalade for her. And you get yourself tangled when you just think you're doing good business. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people is hot. They watching a lot of people and you getting yourself all tangled up. So the hardship was losing all that time. And then what am I going to do again? The thing when I was in prison and I was with you, I used to always pray, I don't want to die without another business that was better. Because I blew that. I don't want to die, God, without building something as special as that. Please, God. That was the only thing on my heart. I don't want to die without building something special that can help families and really do it right this time. But it was hard. It was hard, bro.
My brother, I don't know if you remember this. Mm-hmm. For those that on, when he actually got back into prison, that's when I met the brother, and we were talking, and you was telling me about the car business, and you was telling me a few stories about artists and stuff that was going on, and you looked at me with this look, my brother, and you said, Spud, I gotta do something. And the energy behind that something was so impactful. Like, I remember going back to my cell, like, I gotta write a song, like, that something, hearing where you came from and the things where you were doing, and now you're sitting with me and hearing that thing that I gotta do something was so powerful. When you got out, what was that something next?
That's something, I was hoping it was going to be movies, but I wasn't equipped enough mentally. I had lost so much time. I couldn't because someone gave me, my father blessed me, and he gave me some capital when I came home. And I put into film, but I couldn't understand YouTube at the time because I had been away for so long. I was like, why would I spend my money on a movie if they could just put it on YouTube and it's free? I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand YouTube at the time at all because BET sold for like $3 billion.
Yeah.
And then YouTube sold for maybe 3x that. So I'm like, how do a channel sells for less than something what's called YouTube? I couldn't understand the concept yet. I couldn't. So I said, why would I spend my money on a movie that y'all can just watch for free? I can't put on a DVD no more. I can't do it this way no more. I couldn't catch the comp, so I couldn't do movies because I didn't have it. I didn't have. When you lose time in prison, you lose 8 years and 10 years. Technology blew by you so much.
Yes.
You can't catch on to certain things. You just need time. It's just the way it is, bro. Unless you have people to implant you into a system. And I didn't have friends that was able to implant me into systems. So I didn't do that. I wound up just on the hunt back to dishwashing because I knew dishwashing could get me back on my feet. So I went back to that while trying to study, while trying to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? And then I wound up having a job, dishwasher. I wound up getting somebody who loved my work ethic and gave me a good kind of like job. I wanted the highest, fanciest restaurants. And I was like in charge of a little like stock section. And then a friend of mine told me about cardboard, like recycling. I'm like, what? He said, yo, I said, what you doing? He said, yo, I collecting cardboard. I said, what do you mean you collect? He said, you see the cardboard that's on the street? He said, I'm collecting that and sending it to China. I said, get the
He's like, what?
You mean to tell me all this cardboard that's sitting out on the street
Every recyclable day
downtown, you could just pick this up and take it to somewhere and sell it? He said, yo, come try it with me. And I wound up getting like a zip car van and trying it one night. And I made $70. I'm like, this is insane, bro. I can really do this. And that's when we got into cardboard. And I named that company Urban Recycling. After urban horses, I had to play on the word. I went to urban recycling and we wound up growing that to something special, bro. Something that was so beautiful and so special. I wound up developing teams and young men and teaching these young men how to become men. I start to seeing them have babies and how to get their license and their CDL and they driving the truck. And we're a team, bro.
You built another whole industry. My brother,
getting the cardboard.
I remember you pulled up to me. I was in the studio, and you was sharing with me. I'm doing this cardboard thing, and you was breaking it down to me, and I'm like, okay. And then when I walked you outside, I saw my man jump into the navy blue Porsche. The navy blue Porsche, and I was like, damn, that's my favorite joint right there. And I seen you drive off, and I'm like, yeah, you know, it took me back to that moment when you was like, Spud, I gotta do something. And when you drove off, I was like, my man got something. You know what I'm saying? My man got something, man. So that industry, obviously you moved on. What happened in that industry? Like what?
Trump happened. Trump happened, and I wasn't on top of my game. You can blame anybody you want to blame, but it comes to accountability. It comes down to accountability. When Trump came in, all right, so we should sell to China. So you have a team with 4 trucks. Right, so you go collect each time is like maybe 2-3 tons. So each ton is like $150 a ton, right? So we send it to China, and Trump comes. He has the little war with China. He got his little beef with China. So they beefing. It's the first administration.
Yeah,
it's not the second administration. We're talking about the first administration. So China says we're not buying no more. But in our industry, it used to always go down and come back up. It go down and come back up. So it'll be tough time when it was 150 is tops. It'll get down to 100. It'll go down to 75. Worst case scenario, one time it got down to 55 a ton. We stuck it out, ran it. With Trump coming, I'm thinking it will come back. I'm thinking it will come back. and it's dropping and it's dropping. But I'm still paying the team. I'm paying for the trucks. I'm paying for gas. I'm trying to save the car books. Now I'm in the, it's getting ugly. But I said, wow, it might come back. Let me buy a warehouse, and if I just pack all this cardboard in here, it'll come back. Now cardboard will be worth so much again. And I kept bleeding money. And I started making horrible mistakes because now I'm stressed. Now I'm down 6 figures, and now I'm borrowing 6 figures, and I'm in trouble, bro. And I ain't borrowing from banks. I'm borrowing from brothers on the street who trusted me and believed in me. And I'm packing up all these cardboards. I'm sending people out, and I'm paying $500 a day, $800 a day for staff and gas and tolls, and I'm bleeding, Spud. And it never came back. It never came back. So the Porsche was gone, the Range was gone, the house was gone, the team was gone, and it was devastating, Spud. It was tough. I mean, I remember the last day, and I made horrible decisions, and I'm taking full accountability because I should have pulled when it got crazy. I should have pulled, or it was other transformations I could have did with the trucks, Bud. I could have went into Amazon. I could have went into these other directions with the trucks and the team because I built the infrastructure.
Yeah.
But the poor decision making allowed me to stick with something that was too long. And it hurt me. And I remember the last day. Was February 2nd, 2018. It was coldest day of the year. Cold day. And it was so much pain on my heart, but I tried to freeze myself to death. Because I didn't want to do nothing. So I said, if I just lay here and and I was so hurt. I just couldn't, it was pain, bro. I'm talking about pain because not only with Trump, but still the accountability on me because I was making poor decisions because I wasn't thinking right.
Gotcha.
I was trying to keep this thing alive when it just wasn't there no more, bro. And I just wanted to I didn't want to wake up. And a girl came and saved me, man.
Wow.
Never forget her, man. Mel, she just came and she saved me, bro. She saved me, man. And got me some warmth and talked me and then like, yo, just, you know what I'm saying? But it was that tough because like, damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I've let everybody down because they had families now, Spud. I got these kids when they was 16 years old, 17. They 20, 21 now. They got apartments. They got cribs. They got kids.
This is their income.
I let them all down, man. Let them all down, bro. And poor decision making, bro. And I let them all down because I had time away. Here's a service pay. I ain't much. Everybody take $1,500 and y'all get ahead and try something else. At least give them that opportunity. At least give them that. Yeah. At least afford them that opportunity, man. A month where they could pay at least their rent. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have mansions. They had like $1,000 cribs. They was young kids, 19, 20 years old. Give them a month rent and $500 to get themselves together, or $2,000 instead of burning it through. At least you give everybody $2,000. It was only 8 people. Give everybody $2,000, and then I keep maybe what's left, and then start all over. And I didn't. So I remember that fall, man, to that where. Yeah, it was tough, Spot.
I remember around that time, and you had hit me, and you was like, yo, your exact words to me. You was like, yo, Spud, man, I'm down, man. I'm down. And you actually came with me to the center.
Yeah,
you took a ride with me to my program.
Joshua, and one of the guys' name was Joshua. My first guy to help me start that company, his name was Joshua. Because it was Joshua Rodriguez Center?
It's the Joshua Avato.
Oh, yeah, his name is Joshua Rodriguez.
Prince Joshua Avato.
You
pulled up with me, and afterwards you said that. You said that same line. You said, yo, I let them down, and I didn't know what, like, I felt your pain, my dude, like, I felt your pain, and I remember we was in the car, I was dropping you off, and I looked over at you, and I was like, damn, my dude, you just gotta get back up.
Right.
If we at the lowest, that's everything was up.
Right, because it's tough. Like, check it out, Spud. Let's keep it real. We just was in the Porsche.
Yeah.
We just was in the Range. Let's keep it all the way real.
Yeah.
You was dropping me off in your whip, and you was dropping me off at the homeless shelter. Let's keep it all the way real.
Yeah.
You go from making 6 figures, hundreds of thousands, 200,000 a year, your same friend you went to visit, and that's what friendship is about. That's when you have a bond with somebody, the trust that you know then you could come and just get some inspiration from him. You ain't gotta give him no money or nothing, but he gonna come hang with you for the day, get some value, get some inspiration. That's what you gave me. You gave me some inspiration. I just hung out with you for the day.
Yeah.
And we just hung out, and you was teaching the kids music, and I was helping you out a little bit.
Yeah.
You gave me some value, and then you dropped me off at the homeless shelter because I was popped. I was popped, and you drove me and dropped me off at the homeless shelter. So we go from just having a 4-door Porsche in the range, and less than a year later, I'm dropping the same guy off at a homeless shelter. That's real, Spud.
That's real. It is.
Real. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it all the way real. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you gotta get back. You gotta get back. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get back. Go up in that shelter and you plot and plan because you made so many poor decisions with your wife that she get out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get the Porsche, you get the range, you get all this stuff, you start to believe your own hype. And you start to have, you know what I'm saying? And then things start getting crazy at the home. Now you making bad decisions at the home because everything is stressed out on you. And now you're making poor decisions. So she even saying like, so you have to, and I'm always a person who was like, let me go get it together. And I went there to get it together and said, okay, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, yeah. I know that was a hard time, and sometimes the hard times help redefine and focus us. Uh-huh. Now, after that, what was the next play for you? Like it's hard. Like you've done it a few times to come up, and that is most definitely inspiration that you can do it again. But like you said, a year ago, you just was in the Porsche. Like you just had. What was the mind frame to get up out of that?
Just do it one more time. Getting older. If you did it, let's start all over again. We ain't got no plan. It ain't nothing. Let's go and just do something and see if the magnet will pull some ideas again. So what do you think I went back to do?
Dishes.
Dishes, bro.
Dishes.
I went back to the dishes again.
Man,
you know how
dishes.
painful that was this time? Because now
dishes.
This is like, you going back to the dishes? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm back on the dishes, but it was an app now. Let's keep it all the way real, Spud. We ain't got a lot of time left, but I got to tell this story. It's ugly. So I'm like, I don't care, man. I lost everything. It's all ugly, man. And I remember the train pulling in. I remember going to rob this bank on 40th Street by the parole office. I don't know what made me think I'm going to rob that Chase Bank, man. So I'm going to the Chase Bank on 40th Street. The 4 train pulls in. You're going to take the shuttle over because it's on 8th Avenue, right by the parole. The train pulls in, but it gets stopped right in the tunnel. And I remember you can get a little Wi-Fi. 42nd Street was the only one that ever had Wi-Fi at that time. We're inside the train. And my phone came on, and I went to YouTube, and the first thing I seen was somebody robbing a bank and an undercover finishing them. I said, that's a sign. That's a sign for me not to go in there, bro. That has to be a sign from the universe for me not to go in that bank. And I wound up went to Craigslist, and I wound up getting a job, and it wound up saying dishwasher, but it was an app. It was an app called Jit Joe. So I wound up getting a job with them, but it was on an app. And I was able to look at the jobs every day and just go do the dishes everywhere in New York City. So now I'm not at one location. I'm on an app where I could go here and then I go here, but I didn't know where to live anyway. So I would just go 8 hours here and then I could look on the app. It was somewhere else for 8 hours. I go 8 hours there and I just turned it up. And then the Wall Street Journal wound up coming and interviewing me. So I wound up being in the Wall Street Journal, and I wound up using that leverage to become like the highest paid dishwasher because now I'm kind of like this special guy in this industry. So I wound up being blessed with that, and then my mind started to think, wow. Because people start calling me direct, hey, can you come do the dishes? And I started saying, wow, I only could be one place at one time. Mm-hmm. I started to say, wait a minute. I can't come, but I got a guy that can come. It's last minute, so you're going to have to pay X, Y, and Z. So then I just, hey, no problem. I just need a dishwasher over here. And I just call a guy, hey, listen, man, they need a dishwasher over here. They're paying $25 an hour. You should go over there, man. You want to get that 25? Yeah, I take it. They go to do the dishes at 25, and he's giving me 30. And then I just turned that into something special. I just keep going everywhere. And then now they start calling me. Now I start moving to a Vint server. And then the same thing with event server. People start, hey, can you come do my event? I'm already booked over here, but I got somebody that can come do it. And it just grew into something special. And I named that one a better staffing solution.
A better staffing
You see,
solution.
a play on the words, so it's like ABETTA. A better staffing solution. Because I started to see where the people went wrong. Because I was with G.I. Joe, and they wouldn't listen to me. And I'm saying, yo, I see y'all gonna lose this Google contract. Y'all gonna lose that Facebook contract because y'all doing this wrong. And they was looking like, because they was like from Stanford University, because they had this app. They thought they was something special. Why were we looking to this peasant from jail? All he does is know how to wash dishes. So I was like, okay, y'all don't want to listen to me. I know where y'all going wrong. See, I know all the corporate chefs. I know the chef at NYU, Columbia University. I know the chef at Google. I know the chef at Facebook and S&P and all these hedge funds. I know what they're looking for because I know them, right? So I kind of knew how to squeeze who would where, and they didn't want to listen to me. So when they want to listen to me, and I came, I said, y'all ever heard of a company called IBM? Or you ever heard of a Blockbuster?
Yeah.
But now there's Netflix.
Yep, they hard-headed.
Y'all think y'all something special. You see what I'm saying? You think you're something special. I bet I think a Blockbuster thought they was special. You see what I'm saying? And I wound up opening my own because I knew my secret was I know who to fit with who. I know this chef don't like people coming smelling like weed, but I know this chef don't mind because he's a pothead. He gonna be like, oh, that's that good stuff. You fit in with him, but she might not fit in with over there because that chef is loud with the mouth, and that black girl be like, who the hell you talking to? But I know who to send over there, and that what makes a better staffing solution so beautiful now. You know what I'm saying? Because we know who to fit where, and when it's time to do these big beautiful weddings on the weekend, we know how to staff it. We know who to put where and how. We know who to pour the wine. We know who's best at picking up the dishes and who know how to pick up the right fork and place the right spoon and who know how to. We are it when it comes to hospitality.
Talking,
you know what I'm saying?
A
better staffing solution. You know what I'm saying? We are it when it comes to serving our people because sometimes we don't have that. Sometimes as a people, we don't get a chance to have that white glove service. We used to having a baby shower and it's a buffet. You know what I'm saying? A wedding and it's a buffet. We're not used to having that plate delivered and the wine poured and the plates picked up on time and the dessert brought out in a certain way. That what makes us special, a better staffing solution. And that's what we at today, man. We're going to grow this one into something special because it's so special when a single mom could call you and she need a job because the baby father not answering and it's picture day for them kids and they need a nice little outfit. They got to pay for those pictures and she could call you and say, Tom, can you got something for me this weekend? Yeah, I got a 10-hour wedding, man. What you want? You know what I'm saying? I'm only paying $27.50, but that's gonna bring you $270. You wanted a what?
You wanted a what?
to see her smile at the end of the night, ain't no other way, man, bro. Ain't no see her get paid at the end of the night and she smile knowing Monday morning she could send them kids to take those pictures, or she could pay her phone bill, or your man fresh home from jail and his wife is on his back and you could get him 2-3 days of just I can't get you rich. I can't get you rich, bro. Let me just get you on your feet right quick. I ain't giving you no money. You want some money? I got a spot you go wash some dishes at S&P. I got a hedge fund that need a dishwasher for 2 days. It's paying $200 a day. You know, that'll get you $600. I can't get no continuous work because it don't work like that with
Yeah.
I'm just plugging holes for certain companies. When somebody call out, when a cook call out, I'm plugging a cook in there. You know what I'm saying? When a vent server can't do that, I'm plugging it in. That's all my thing is. The goal is to get 60 people out a day. That's my dream. Right now, if I'm getting 5 to 10 out and then employing 20 people on the weekends, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
You know, but the goal is to get 60 people out a day because there's so many people need help. So many people just could use some extra income, bro. And that's what we're doing, man. A better staffing solution.
Nice. Now, where do you see a better staffing solution in the next year?
I see a better staffing solution 5Xing where we at right now, but we more looking towards 5 years from now.
Okay.
But next year we become more, we just want our community. Next year is the focus on our community that love us. Right now, I did a shout out to Sharon Bond. She was the first person to give me an Afro-American wedding because we never got to do our people. We get bar mitzvahs, we get these other weddings, but they don't look like us. And I love them. And we go and show out for them. But I wanted to show out for our people one time, Spud. And she gave me that opportunity. I was my first. She let me do her daughter's wedding. And we showed out, bro. That was our opportunity. And I wanted to grow there. I want to come to my community. I want my community to see how weddings supposed to be done. Weddings are beautiful. It's a dance. It's a choreography. It's with the speeches has to be right. The toasts have to be right. The salad has to be brought out right. The main course, the desserts. I want you to feel it's your beautiful day. I want these people dressed all in black and come and serve you. I want them standing there with the red wine and the white wine, and I want your glass to be poured for you. You know what I'm saying? If your mother needs to be served, your father needs to be served. I want those bartenders to know every drink. You know, I want you to feel amazing. Not only you, but your guests. I want your guests to feel so
the whole experience.
Wow. It felt like it was their wedding. And that's what we do. So next year, I just want to more build within our community. And then 5 years down the line, become a staple within. So if your wedding ain't done by a better staffing solution, it wasn't done right. Just like back in the days when you pulled up to a party and you wasn't in an urban horse, you wasn't pulling up. You came, but you didn't arrive. It's a different when you come to a party and when you arrive in the party. You see what I'm saying? But it's a little different.
Yes, sir.
It's a little different. Then that's what a better staffing solution. And we don't do your wedding, we don't do your party, we don't do your graduation, we don't do your Sweet 16. It wasn't done right.
It wasn't done right. It wasn't done right.
That's where we at with this thing, Spud. That's where we at.
This whole platform is conversation based. There's only one question that we ask every single guest on this show. And that question is, if you could look back at the young Thomie, if you could look at the young Tom Black, Tom, and tell yourself something, what would that be?
I would tell myself, it's going to be all right. I tell myself, chill. Don't go through that door. It's going to be all right. Give it some time. Don't go through that door. It seemed crazy, Tom. I know the pressure that's in front of you seems crazy, but take a deep breath. Don't go through the door. Chill out. Don't go through that door, Tom. Chill out. You going through that door, it ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it.
Tom, take a deep breath. You sharp enough. Just take your time. It's going to be all right. I would tell myself, because it was a lot of times I jumped out the window, man. And I fell flat on my face and I broke a leg and I couldn't get up. I had to heal. When I didn't have to jump out the window, you could have just chilled and waited for the elevator, Tom. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of times I jumped out these windows and broke a hip, broke my elbows when I didn't have to. I could have just, because I got to live with that, Spud. If I would have kept urban horses, I would have been renting private jets. Nobody was thinking about renting people cars. Nah. People in the hood, I was rent people cars. Every dice game, somebody hit a big dice game, they were calling me to rent the car. Yo, yeah, I got cars straight up. How much you hit for 10,000? I'm gonna give you an X, Y, and C car for 3,000. They ain't even mind, because remember it was $35 an hour. 10 hours is $350. So in their brain, 3,000. I rented for the week for 800. So it was like, you see what I'm saying? But if I would have stood my course, I probably been renting private jets, man, because nobody can out hustle me. You see what I'm saying? So I would have had $5 million in cars, and Uber probably would have bought me, or no telling what could have been if I didn't jump out the window.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell myself. Take a deep breath. It's all right. Just give yourself another day. It seems crazy, but if you just give it another day, and the day comes, give it another week, you're gonna be okay, because that healing, that takes months. That takes years. When they sit us down, Spud, they sit us down for years. So just, if it take another week, so what? If it take another month, so what? It's going to be all right, because God already gave you the intellect. You rushing, and that's the devil. You know? So that's what I see that, Spud.
My brother, we know we're in the era of everybody getting their flowers. So that's the big conversation. But here on MJMG Presents SHU Radio, we don't give our flowers, we give our honor, because honor do last forever. Flowers does die. And I want to take this time to give you the honor. I got to see you in different stages of your life.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the roller coaster from the heights to the lows, to the I'm on to the I'm off. And each stage, whether you was up or down, one thing remained the same. You was true to who you were, to the people you were among. And each time you was at your low, I watched you like a phoenix rise to the next occasion, finding not only your niche, but also incorporating your passion and your hustle at the all time, still incorporating people around you, man. And with that being said, man, we want to give you your honors, man. I want to personally
Appreciate that, Spud. Appreciate that. Appreciate that from the heart, for truly, man. And you got to come through the podcast, man. A better conversation. You got to come on through to a better conversation. We just rap, just take it, just man.
My brother, let me
honor to have you on the show.
Let me know when I'm there. That's it.
Copy.
Let me know and I'm there. That's not even a question. Like,
copy.
You let me know.
For a better conversation, man. Gonna go with the. It's like it's hospitality, but we will fit you in. It's a hospitality, but we talk entrepreneurship, life in general, lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? But it's because it got to correspond with my brand. And my brand is a better staffing solution. So this is a better conversation. And we bring through the best chefs. We bring through the best restaurant owners and these people that do hospitality to the highest degree. You know, but we will get you in there and you're going to fit anyway.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you, Spud, for having me on your platform, taking the time out. I really, really do, man. Having your audience listen to my story. I appreciate it. It was like a therapeutic session. You know, I could go 3-4 hours with you, Spud. And I appreciate your time, man.
You know how we do, my brother. For those that are on the app that's listening, and for those that are in the chat right now, if they have a wedding, if they have a party, they have something, what's the best way for people to reach out to you and get in the loop?
Yeah, we have it. You can always reach out to me directly with the direct number. With Spud audience, I give the direct number. You know, we there for you. Long as you plan in enough time. Like, we are highly professional. You know what I'm saying? Highly professional. But you can always reach us at a better staffing at gmail.com. A better staffing, but that's an ABETTA staffing. Spud probably put it on the bottom. A better staffing at gmail.com. You know what I mean? If you get there, we'll take you in the direction from there. If you email and you're serious, because we're serious. Like, we come. Like, this is serious. We take this very, very serious. But if you're thinking about having something and you want that elegance and you want it right, we're going to make sure, if you would Spud, the price, we're going to make sure the price, we're going to fit that budget. Believe me. And we just reach out to us at a better staffing at gmail.com. If you're serious, believe me, we create memories.
You heard that?
Memories.
And where the people could follow you and because you be dropping your gems, man. You be dropping
Finding Summit. You know, you can find me Finding Summit, just like it's spelled on IG, man. Finding Summit, man. Just come tune in and get some spiritual, just feel some goodness. Because remember, when I do Finding Summit, it's really a conversation myself, but I give you the warrant and permission to listen in.
Yeah.
But I'm really talking to myself. But if you grab something, grab it for you, plant that seed, and give it to other people. Because at my age, at 55 years old, I'm just trying to spark beauty in others, hoping that get me into the heavens.
Yes,
you see what I'm saying? So I'm hoping you grab a jewel and do something right with that jewel and become somebody special and help other people. So the tree comes down to me. So God or the universe or wherever on Judgment Day, God be like, wow, that one thing helped 30 people. Just that little 30 might got you in there.
My God.
And so, you know what I'm saying? So I drop jewels. It's conversation with myself, but I give you the warrant permission to listen in on Finding Summit. And every day it's coming from here. It ain't no social media bull crap, blah, blah, blah. I'm bringing it from here.
From there.
This is something I slept on. I don't post every day, maybe 2, 3, 4 times a week. And when I post, it's coming from.
Shout out to F and Genius. While we were talking, he wrote in the chat, Finding Something. Yeah, he wrote that in the chat.
That's dope.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, home team. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you from the heart, man. It really did in my heart, man. I appreciate you, Spud.
Thank you, my brother. My brother, again. you know where we are with it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I love seeing you. I love seeing you up. And I got my eyes on keeping seeing that growing, man. I believe every step that you took was a measurement for you to understand the growth that you have in you to maintain what you got. And I think this when you said to me in front of my bunk, I gotta find something. And you found it, my brother, man. Salute to you, man. Another round of applause, my brother.
Salute to you too, Spud. All the things you doing, man. All amazing things you doing. We just trying to keep up with you, inspired, man. We just keep trying to impact lives. I told my man he be taking these pictures with everybody. He be throwing money in the club. I'm like, so what does that mean? Like, how many lives are you impacting, bro? You know what I'm saying? So I made a post that people say, oh, Tom up in Google, and he's serving the people. He up in the record label. I seen him up in Sony. I seen him up in this record label. He was making the coffee, and his team was doing the donuts and stuff. I be like, yeah, but how many lives you impacted?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those people are employed. Those people you see setting up these breakfasts at these nice, elegant hedge funds and these corporations and these record labels. We're not getting record deals, but however, how many lives are we impacting? How many single mothers we impacting and they kids that's going to school and can feel happy that they can buy them a snack after school? How many lives are you impacting? You took a picture with him. So what that mean?
What that do?
You threw 3,000 in the club. What does that mean? You know how many lives you can impact with that 3,000? That don't mean nothing. What we doing is special, Spud, because we impacting lives. That's a big flex. That's a big flex. We have 20 families today, man. You know what I'm saying? You saving lives when that little boy making beats and rhyming, he not going to do no crime. You saving his mother hardship, him hardship, his cousin's hardship, his future life. We impacting lives, Spud. That's way better than with these. They pulling up, showing off on IG. What that guy? Oh, my chain. Look at all these chains. How many lives y'all impacting? Yo, Spud. Thank you for the time, brother. Man. Keep impacting lives.
Most definitely. Same to you, my brother. You have a good night, my dude.
Do the same.
Peace. Shout out to everybody that's on right now. We just had Thomie Is'real. Brother, I sat with this brother while we were incarcerated. That's when I met him and watched his grind. Take elements and keep going. But y'all know, we're at the end of the night, so I got to give you my final word. The final word for today. The final word today. There was one thing that kept coming up in this conversation. Every time he hit rock bottom, he went to what he knew. And even that place that he went to, and it was washing dishes. If you didn't hear it, it was washing dishes. And every time he made it to a peak where he wanted to be, whether it was the money, the fame, the accolade, and it crumbled, he went back to what he knew. And he started from the bottom, and it wasn't comfortable. It wasn't pleasing, but he went back to what he knew. And when you know something and you can return to it, that's a base. Never forget the start of where you are coming from, because you might return there. And if you happen to return there, doesn't mean you have to live there, because you've been there. And that gives you your edge. When you've been a place, you know the land. And it gives you a time to be, whether it's growth, whether it was being reminded, but it gives you the moment to build back out of it. So sometimes we might have to go back to that place. And while you're at that place, just remember where you want to go. I want to send a big shout out to my boy, Thomie Is'real. I want a big shout out to everybody on Apple TV, Google TV, and everybody who rocked out with us on the app. We're going to close this night out right now. If you in tune, every Monday, 9:30 p.m., we have conversations with creatives of all likes. It's conversation-based that we could give some information, some inspiration, and along with some entertainment to our listeners. I'm Spud Brooklyn, and we're going to close this night out with a song called A Beautiful Journey, and I think that's fitting. But I do want to dedicate this to the MJMG family, who today was the birthday of the son that passed away, and the father passed on this day as well. So this song right here is a dedication to those, and if anybody has anyone in their family with a loss, this is to y'all too. So this is A Beautiful Journey.
rank wall with strength, a quiet kind of power.